Thank you, Amir, and hello, everyone. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here with all of you at the AI for Good Summit, so thank you for having us. So today, we'd like to talk to you about avatars. So what comes to mind when you hear that word? Perhaps the 2009 Hollywood film or those animated characters that you create to represent yourself online. But what we are referring to is the technology you see here, a technology that, although is still in its infancy, will eventually allow us all to exist in a remote, real location. See, hear, feel, interact, explore, and impact our world in ways that we have never been able to before. Avatars will be the future of transportation, essentially extending humanity's physical reach and giving all of us the opportunity to teleport our consciousness, presence, and skills to anywhere on the planet instantaneously. Which, of course, leads us to the most common question that we are always asked, which is why? Why on earth would an airline pioneer such technology where you can now travel without ever getting on an airplane? But we see things a little bit differently. We do not see avatars as being a competing technology, but rather an extension of the service that we are already providing. So if you give me a few moments to talk about the impact of the airlines over the last 100 years, I mean, if you think about it, I think it's safe to say that we have played a key role in helping to globalize our world. I mean, essentially providing that base infrastructure that has helped to facilitate and catalyze international businesses, relationships, diplomacy, for example, mutual understanding, collaborations, and shared experiences like this summit that we are all attending together today. But as a player in this industry, I can definitively say that we're not doing a great job of providing this service. And I'm not talking about the terrible in-flight meal that you had on your last flight or Mayor Peduto's baggage, which we have no idea where it is right now. I'm talking about something a little bit more profound. And what am I talking about? Well, if we think about the fact that, we are an airline that is part of a large, massive, mature industry. We transport somewhere in the ballpark of 3.8 billion passengers per year. This is a pretty massive number, if you really think about it. It's representative of over half of the world's population. And I think a lot of people within our industry and outside of our industry are kind of misled by this figure and the growth of this figure, because our true impact on the world is much, much smaller. This is the number of seats we sell, not the number of passengers we actually serve. So if you allow me to do a little bit of simple math, we do some market research and we can find that upwards of 99.x% of passengers fly simple round trips. So that immediately cuts our unique impact in half. And then when we consider that many of you here travel multiple times a year, cost-conscious customers will travel multiple segment round trips to save money, we quickly realize that this impact will drop even further. So by my calculation, I estimate that the average passenger will travel 4 round trips per year. And with that assumption, our unique impact as an entire global industry is a mere 6%. So the world that we thought was so global and interconnected is really only connected in the digital sense. We are still not adequately connected physically. And as the only efficient provider of this service over long distances, I think this is a huge market failure. So while many in our industry are continuing down the road of optimizing our services towards this 6%, Akira and I believe that there is a larger, more meaningful reason for us to find a breakthrough, a way to approach the remaining 94, to provide this extremely valuable service of physical access to the rest of the world. So now we're talking about scaling the domain or the business scale of the airline industry from 6% to 100%, which seems or sounds impossible, and I think it is, unless we change our mindset and kind of think outside of the box a little bit. And so like the Kodak example that many of us are familiar with, we took the time to kind of think about who we are as a company and what are we really trying to achieve. So we asked ourselves the simple question, are we simply an airplane operator? Is that really our goal? And that simple question gave us the opportunity to kind of reflect upon our corporate history, and we realized we didn't even start off as an airplane company. We actually started off as a really, really small helicopter company. Just 2 helicopters, 16 employees, and a vision to connect people within Japan and around the world for the betterment of society. So this thought exercise helped us to realize that no, we are not simply an airplane operator. We are a company that aims to connect. We are trying to connect and bridge the gaps of distance, time, and culture that exist in our world. And it's within that framework that avatars fit in just perfectly. But some of you here in the audience may still be questioning, wait, do we really need avatars? Or avatars kind of seem a little scary, or the idea in itself is absurd. But when we think about the positive use cases of this technology, they're almost endless. And it's really these positive use cases that I am confident will drive this technology into all of our lives. So of course, yes, we can travel to anywhere in the world instantaneously. That's great. But we can now also go to places that are not suitable for humans. We can expand our exploration of space and the ocean floor. We can now more safely and effectively go into hazardous areas to do disaster relief. We will have a new capability to remobilize the elderly and the impaired. And I think most importantly, we will be able to now share our skills limitlessly, 1 hour at a time, to those who need it the most. So if you think about it, if we place one general purpose avatar, just one, in a very, very remote village somewhere in the world, that village will now have access to every single doctor, every single teacher, every single engineer, scientist, agriculturalist, designer in the world. And they can call upon those resources, and someone with that skill set will be able to avatar in for 30 minutes, for an hour, to provide those real-life services. This is going to change the game completely, essentially giving us the ability to limitlessly share our skills with one another for the very first time. And I think this is the greatest hope in overcoming the problem of physical access, which has prevented us from solving many of the global challenges that we still face today. So in the past few minutes, I've hopefully been able to cover a few themes. First of all, what we define as an avatar. It's a real-world avatar. And why? Why as an airline and why as a member of society we are pioneering this new technology. Which leaves us with the question of how. Obviously, in order to start a global movement and introduce this new form of transportation, it's going to take quite a bit of effort and momentum. So within ANA, we have created a global, multifaceted initiative to really get the ball rolling. And so to talk more about the details of that, I'd like to pass the stage on to my colleague, Akira.
Thanks, Kevin. So the cornerstone of the ANA Avatar vision is the 4-year, $10 million ANA Avatar X Prize. So with this, we can create the world's first general purpose avatar. In addition, to make this really avatar market happen, we're working quickly to prototype and test and release the basic avatar service into the market using existing avatar component technology. We have partnered with one of the areas in southern Japan, and they have agreed to become the world's first avatar test field. And we'll be deploying many basic avatar service in categories of, for example, education and healthcare, and also space exploration. Furthermore, to raise awareness and helping prototyping capital, we have opened up our service platform, crowdfunding platform, to those who are working on avatar-related project to raise funds together with our global customers. So some of you may think that avatars are science fiction, but the technology to create an avatar already exists. So to create an avatar, you need an exponential technology such as AI, VR, AR, telecommunications, sensors, computing, haptics, and robotics. But currently, these technologies are developing independently. This is where X Prize comes in. By holding an X Prize, these converging technology can be converged into an avatar. So AI, we need AI to create an avatar. With these AIs, we can reduce the amount of data we're transmitting. And we can also use when we have data loss and network loss. And using these AI to really create an AI future platform by collecting all the data of human actions and skills and knowledge that will be available. So anyway, until now, XPRIZE created their competition in-house. But starting from 2016, they opened up the prize development process to outside organizations to create the next XPRIZE. And Kevin and I competed in the very first XPRIZE design competition called Visioneers. And we competed against 8 other global teams. Our main theme was transportation. Of course, at that time, we had other solutions than avatars, like micro-rockets, hypersonic electric jets, but we realized that we will face the same scaling issue we're facing now with these ideas. So this is when we started to look for another solution and think outside of the box. So what would the ideal solution be? We came up teleportation. I see some of you smiling, but that's exactly the same reaction we experienced during the first day of the Visioneers kickoff. 8 other teams either laughed at us or ignored us. But there was one person who was 100% behind our idea, and that was Dr. Peter Diamandis, the founder of XPRIZE Foundation. Thanks to his support, we decided not to give up. We interviewed futurists, physicists, and experts. We actually interviewed the first person to successfully teleport photon particles, Dr. Akira Fukasawa. That's Akira Fukasawa. I'm Akira Fukabori, so never mind. That's a bad joke. So anyway, we done the research, and we found out it is possible. It is possible, but we found out it will take more than 100 years. That's way too long for an XPRIZE. XPRIZE has to be 5 to 10 years. So we look for another solution. If I cannot teleport myself, what would the next best thing be? What if I could teleport my consciousness and be physically present in a remote location? Is that a possible solution? Well, yes. This avatar solution is possible within 5 to 10 years. So this was the journey, how we came up with the AvaTar XPRIZE. While this prize will really accelerate avatar technology, we are also developing and releasing basic avatar service into the world. And we would like to show one of the service today. So it is called avatar fishing, and we will do the demo. We actually use real haptic technology, which we use these technology for avatar hand. You can actually feel the softness and the hardness. And we actually use that technology to create a fishing service. So we tied up with Keio University, and we create a really simple system, tie up with Japanese startups called Rio. And you can actually fish remotely from your home with pound-for-pound haptic feedback. It's not a virtual reality. It's a real fishing experience. And the fish you catch, it will be sent to your doorstep the next day. Very airline. Yes, so now we would like to do the demo. Mayor, if you're happy to experience the demo, we would love to come up to the stage, please. Actually, we had one accident yesterday. We actually received this robot from Japan. We delivered it. And FedEx actually broke one part, and one part was missing. So actually, we had to make the part with wood. And many people actually helped us to create the backup. So thank you for everyone for the support. So the technology seems really simple, but you'll probably get the sense how you can teleport your consciousness.
Yeah, so as we get the mayor ready for this demo, I'd like to just speak a few words about it. As you can see, the system itself, in terms of appearance, isn't all that spectacular. But it's really this simplicity that makes it so amazing. You know, we talk to a lot of people who think that avatars are a far-off future, or that the avatar services that we're creating will be completely detached from our day-to-day lives. But hopefully this demo will help you to see that we can create basic avatar services with existing component technologies that can be easily distributed and also will have far-reaching impacts in the world. Just this simple system right here, which has 1 degree of freedom, can be deployed to create new paradigms in farm to table, for example. And furthermore, we can help to spread expertise fishing skills to many parts of the world who rely on that for their livelihoods. Now, again, currently we only have 1 degree of freedom. We are creating the second version of this, which will have 4 degrees of freedom, so you'll actually be able to really have a true fishing experience. But hopefully, it looks like the mayor is getting ready here, so let's see how this works. So if you can imagine that this is the operator, and this avatar on this side is now located in some remote fishing area.
Mayor, how is the feeling?
I don't know why I can't see you, but I can see the rest of the room.
So the reason why the mayor can't see Akira is because he's seeing through the eyes of the avatar again.
Yes.
Actually, I'm seeing the audience.
So our plan is to actually place this avatar in the ocean, and you can actually fish from a far distance. So yeah, you can fish tuna in Japan and have sushi in the weekend. Yeah, we'll have a prototype, the next prototype in 2 months. So you have bigger motors with more movement. So I hope next time we can let everyone experience it. Actually, it's the first demo overseas. I'm glad that usually we bring really advanced robots, but it's not about robotics. It's really about teleporting your consciousness and sharing skills. So we actually select this demo. But everyone, thank you for joining today. Anyway, we'll continue to break through the boundaries of traditional boundaries to become an airline for all. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.